to the topic, which is discrete Fourier transform of periodic signals. What we see is that for x of n, let's say there is an x of n, and it's got a Fourier transform, discrete time Fourier transform is x of e raised to j omega. Now the issue here is, for x of e raised to j omega to converge, x of n should be absolutely summable, and for it to get a for it to have a mean square convergence, it should be square summable. Now x tilde of n, which are periodic sequences, they don't tend to 0 as n tends to infinity or plus or minus infinity. They don't tend to 0. So what exactly happens is, this guy, since they are not equal to 0, it's very difficult for them to get a convergence for x of e raised to j omega. Now if we can express x tilde of n as a sum of complex exponentials, right, then there is a way that you can represent the Fourier transform of such periodic sequences. The Fourier transform of such periodic sequences could be represented by using this particular formula, which is x tilde of e raised to j omega equal to summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity 2 pi by n x tilde of k into delta of omega minus 2 pi k by n. Now this Fourier transform representation actually looks like impulse train. This impulse train, it looks like an impulse train, okay, having amplitudes which are given by x tilde of k's, okay, x tilde of k. So this is, let's say, k equal to 0, then this will be x tilde of 0, k equal to 1, then this will be x tilde of 1, where x tilde of k are the DFS coefficients of the x tilde of n, okay. The amplitudes are 2 pi by n into x tilde of k, and the impulses or the impulses are separated by 2 pi by n. So the one will exist at k equal to 0, at omega equal to 0, at omega equal to 2 pi by n, and so on. Okay, so they are separated by 2 pi by n. So this in short is the DTFT for periodic sequences. Now to see that whether this is really the DTFT of this periodic sequences, what we will do is, we will take a inverse Fourier transform. Inverse Fourier transform is given by 1 by 2 pi integral 0 minus epsilon till 2 pi minus epsilon x tilde of e raised to j omega. Now 0 minus epsilon to 2 pi minus epsilon is actually a period which is, let's say, this is 0 till 2 pi, right, and this, from this point till this point, actually will cover complete 2 pi, okay, period. Now provide, and the restriction on this epsilon is, the epsilon is less than 2 pi by n, so your sample will be somewhere between 2 pi by n, minus 2 pi by n till 0, okay. So over this period, okay, x tilde of e raised to j omega into e raised to j omega and d omega, on the left hand side we are taking this, which is your IDTFT formula, and doing the same thing on the right hand side, okay, doing the same thing on the right hand side, which is 1 by 2 pi 0 minus epsilon 2 pi minus epsilon till 2 pi minus epsilon k equal to minus infinity to infinity 2 pi by n x tilde of k into delta of omega minus 2 pi k by n into e raised to j omega and d omega, okay. So now what we know here is, we know that what we are doing here is, we are taking this guy out of the integral, okay. So this is k equal to minus infinity to infinity 1 by n x tilde of k integral 0 minus epsilon till 2 pi minus epsilon delta of omega minus 2 pi k by n into e raised to j omega n. Now this guy here is actually an impulse at 2 pi k by n. We know that delta of omega e raised to j omega n turns out to be an impulse at omega equal to 0. The integral of that is 1, right, because you have to substitute omega equal to 0 here in this. So same way, delta of omega minus 2 pi k by n is actually into e raised to j omega n is actually equal to, over a period from 0 to 2 pi, is equal to e raised to j 2 pi k by n, Now the values of k here in this interval 0 to 2 pi is 0, 1, 2 and so on, right, till n minus 1, because at k equal to 0 it is 0, at k equal to 1 it is 2 pi by n, omega equal to 2 pi by n, at k equal to 2 it is omega equal to 4 pi by n, and at k equal to n minus 1 it is 2 pi into n minus 1 by n. So these are the frequencies. Okay, so k value will be restricted to from 0 to n minus 1. So once I get this integral out of, once I get this expression out of the solve this integral, I will be getting this equal to e raised to j 2 pi k by n, right, and the k value will be restricted to 0 to n minus 1. So that is what I have done. K equal to 0 to n minus 1, 1 by n x tilde of k into e raised to j 2 pi k n by n. Now if you look at this formula looks like the synthesis equation of the DFS, right? So this is like the synthesis equation, which in turn is equal to the x tilde of n. X tilde of n is the periodic sequence which we started off with, saying that this is the periodic sequence x tilde of n which has got the Fourier transform of x tilde of e raised to j omega, right? So this in short proves that this is in fact the Fourier transform representation of x tilde of e raised to, or x tilde of n. Okay, so which is this guy here. Okay, so now we have this expression with us, which is Fourier transform of periodic sequences, right? Let's say you have a periodic sequence x of n. I can think about this periodic sequence as something like this. Okay, 0 to some value, let's say 3, 1, 2. Now what I can do here is I can convert this x of n into a x tilde of n. What I have to do is I have to convolve this x of n with a impulse train which has got a period of n. So let's say I want to convert x of n into a periodic sequence of period n. So what I will be doing here is this is 0 and I will have a sequence which is a impulse train So what I'll be getting here is a sequence which will be at n. When I convolve this x of n with this impulse train p of n, I will get x tilde of n, which will be repeating every n sequences. Okay, so from minus n to n, okay, minus infinity to infinity. So in short, I can create x tilde of n by convolving x of n with p of n. I know the impulse train p of n has got, if I look at this, right, the p of k or p of e raised to j omega, right? Just 1 second. Yeah. So if the p of n can be represented as x of n convolved with summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity. Let me just write it. K equal to minus infinity to infinity delta of n minus k n. So this will give me summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n minus k n, right? This is one way of looking at it. Like I can convert a periodic sequence and convert it into a periodic sequence by convolving with the impulse train having a period of n, right? So now in the frequency domain, what I'll be getting is x of e raised to j omega will be multiplication, like convolving in the time domain will turn into a multiplication in the frequency domain. That is, x of e raised to j omega is the Fourier transform of x of n, and p of e raised to j omega is the Fourier transform of p of n. So if I want to find out p of e raised to j omega, p of e raised to j omega, so it's a periodic function. So p of e raised to j omega will be summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity 2 pi by n into p tilde of k into e into delta of omega minus 2 pi k by n, right? Now to find out p tilde of k, what I have to do is I have to plug it into the DFS coefficients formula, so which is summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1, where n is the period, okay, to p tilde of n into e raised to minus j 2 pi k n by n. Now in this period n equal to 0 to n minus 1, p tilde of n exists for n equal to 0, right? Because this in this sequence, this is an impulse train between 0 to n minus 1. The sequence exists for n equal to 0. So that's why I have p tilde of k as 1. So p of e raised to j omega will be equal to summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity 2 pi by n into delta of omega minus 2 pi k by n, right? Now plugging this here, this particular equation, this particular expression into this, right, I will get x tilde of e raised to j omega, which is a product of x of e raised to j omega into p tilde of e raised to j omega. I will get summation x of e raised to j omega into summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity 2 pi by n into delta of omega minus 2 pi k by n, okay? So what I have is, if I look at this, it's basically a multiplication. Like let x of e raised to j omega be any having any shape, okay? If I multiply this with an impulse train at omega equal to 0, omega equal to 2 pi by n, and omega equal to 4 pi by n, and so on, right? So yeah, just draw it properly. So this will be omega equal to 0, omega equal to 2 pi by n, omega equal to 4 pi by n, omega equal to 6 pi by n, and so on till omega equal to so on, right, which are spaced at distance of 2 pi by n. These are impulses. This is basically an impulse train which is having an amplitude of 2 pi by n at omega equal to multiples of 2 pi by n. Other places it is 0, right? So only those values of x of e raised to j omega which are spaced at multiples of 2 pi, omega equal to 2 pi by n, will exist. So I can get this as k equal to minus infinity to infinity 2 pi by n into x of e raised to j 2 pi k by n into delta of omega minus 2 pi k by n, right? This will be x tilde of e raised to j omega. Now initially what we had seen was, this was the formula that we had seen for a periodic sequence, right? This was the formula. So if I compare this formula here with this formula, I get that my DFS coefficients of the periodic sequence x tilde of n resemble is equal to x of e raised to j 2 pi k by n, which is basically the samples, that is at omega equal to 2 pi k by n, or you can say that x tilde of k is this, which is same as x of e raised to j omega at omega equal to 2 pi k by n, where x of e raised to j omega is the dtft of the aperiodic sequence x of n. Okay, using this aperiodic sequence you created x tilde of n. Now this x tilde of n has got DFS coefficients, which is this. Okay, this is the DFS coefficients of x tilde of n, and x of n has got a dtft, which is this. So if I use only those values spaced at 2 pi k by n, they resemble x tilde of k. That is what it means. Clear? So now let's consider a periodic sequence x of n. Okay, this x of n has got a DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform of x of e raised to j omega, which is given as x of e raised to j omega is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n into e raised to minus j omega n. Okay, now what we have is, let's just say that there is we create a periodic sequence which is x tilde of n, okay, by convolving x of n with a periodic sequence impulse train. Okay, impulse train. So that particular x tilde of n has got a DFS coefficients of x tilde of k. The DFS coefficients of x tilde of n is x tilde of k. Now we know one thing is that the x tilde of k resemble exactly the x of e raised to j omega at omega equal to 2 pi k by n. Okay, so initially what I'll do is I'll start with x tilde of k, which is, or let's just say that I start off with like x tilde of n, which has got which can be expressed as 1 by n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 x tilde of k into w minus k n of n. Right, this is the synthesis equation that we have. Now one thing is, I know that x tilde of k resemble exactly or is equal to x of e raised to j omega at omega equal to 2 pi k by n. So I can write x tilde of k as, or let me just say that x of e raised to j omega as summation m equal to minus infinity to infinity x of m into e raised to minus j omega n. Right, so if I know this thing, then I can plug this into this expression, right? 1 by n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so x tilde of k is there. Okay, so x tilde of k is same as your x of e raised to j omega at omega equal to 2 pi k by n. So I can plug this in, m equal to minus infinity to infinity, okay, x of m into e raised to minus j 2 pi k m by n into e raised to, or you can say w minus k n of n. Okay, so this is 1 by n summation m equal to minus infinity to infinity summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of m into e raised to minus j 2 pi k m over n into e raised to j 2 pi k n over n. Okay, so now I can restructure this as 1 by n summation m equal to minus infinity to infinity x of m into summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 into e raised to minus j 2 pi k n minus m over n. Okay, Now if you look at this particular thing, right, this particular guy, so I'll take this 1 by n here inside and make this as 1 by n, and this guy here is same as the as you are p of n minus m. Why? Because you know that p of k is 1, right? So if I plug it in here, this is what I'll get. So I can say that summation m equal to minus infinity to infinity x of m into p of n minus m. So this will be summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity, okay, p of I can write this as p of n minus m. Okay, what is p of n minus m is here is summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity delta of n minus m minus k n. This is what I have, because this price period is n, so this is what I'll get. P of n minus m can be written as since p of n, I am writing it as summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity delta of n minus kn, right? This is your impulse train. So same way, n minus m, p of n minus m can be written like this. So this is basically an impulse function at n equal to n, right? This guy has got a impulse at n or n equal to m or n equal to or n minus m equal to multiples of kn, right? So I can write this x of m will become x of n, okay, and this will be summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity delta of n minus k n, okay. So this guy will be summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n minus k n. So if you see this, what we are trying to say here is, in short, you have a periodic sequence x of n, okay. I take a Fourier transform of this guy, discrete time Fourier transform. I will get x of e raised to j omega, right? Now I sample this guy. At points of omega equal to 2 pi k by n. I will get x of e raised to j 2 pi k by n. Now the problem is, from here I will not be able to get back this, because there will be some kind of a loss of information which I have to retrieve back, right? Because x of e raised to j omega is a continuous in omega, okay, continuous in omega representation, okay. When I only use 2 pi k by n, in between those values I force them to be zeros. So this will be a sampled version, so there is some loss of information between those two samples, which, right? So how do I retrieve back x of n? So one way was, I know that x of e raised to j 2 pi k by n resemble exactly or are same as your x tilde of k or DFS coefficients, some DFS coefficients, okay. These DFS coefficients, when I take a IDFS of this, or it becomes equal to x tilde of n, or these DFS coefficients are basically the DFS coefficients of a periodic function x tilde of n. Now the way this x tilde of n is related to x of n is that x tilde of n is a convolved version of x of n with an impulse train of period n, or I can say that x of n is just one period of x tilde of n for 0 less than equal to n less than equal to n minus 1, and it is 0 otherwise. So one period of x tilde of n becomes equal to x of n. So now the whole process was to find out whether, see, x of e raised to j omega is very difficult to store because it's continuous, right? So I need, instead of when I'm trying to take a DTFT, it doesn't become of any importance to us because it's not it's a continuous function, and we have all our processing elements are discrete time, right? So things to store this kind of a function or process it, it's like it's not possible because it's made up of infinite points, right? So when I'm storing it, such a infinite points function, things become difficult. So I need a way to find out whether instead of x of e raised to j omega, I can only store the sampled version of x of e raised to j omega. Now the sampled version of x of e raised to j omega, which are basically sampled at points 2 pi k by n, where k is from 0 to n minus 1. These points, these samples are resemble that of x tilde of k. X tilde of k is basically the DFS coefficients of x tilde of n, and x tilde of n is related to x of n. That is, when you convolve x of n with p of n, which has got a period of n, I get x tilde of n. So now it's possible to store this sampled version of your x of e raised to j omega and retrieve back x of n, okay, retrieve back x of n through this particular method, that is, force it to be equal to x tilde of k. From x tilde of k I get x tilde of n, and then x tilde of n, just restrict it to one period, I get my x of n. So things become simpler now, right? So I don't need to store this x of e raised to j omega. I can directly store x of, I need to store only x of e raised to j 2 pi k by n. But now how do I get, see, I have to come this route, right, to get back x of n. So is there any other way to get back x of n directly, or from here I can go here directly, or from here I can come back here directly? That is what we have to find out. What we have seen is that the whole process is x tilde of n is equal to saying that, or x tilde of n is 1 by n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 x tilde of k into w kn of n, w minus kn of n, okay, and x tilde of k is equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x tilde of n into w kn of n. Now see, this x tilde of n, one period of that, when I restrict my x tilde of n to just one period, okay, and even the x tilde of k to just one period, I am basically getting my DFTs. Okay, so the way I can look at it is, let's look at the DFT first. Now x of k, if I restrict my n to one period between n equal to 0 to n minus 1, your x tilde of n is same as your x of n, right? From 0 to n minus 1, if you see, x tilde of n is same as x of n. So this analysis which will be happening for x of n in fact, and this will be from 0 to less than equal to k less than equal to n minus 1. So I will be restricting the k from 0 to n minus 1, and it will be 0 otherwise. So this becomes your DFT, the discrete Fourier transform. Discrete Fourier transform. Okay, now to get back from x of k, if I want to get back x of n directly, right, my x of n will be summation 1 by n k equal to 0 to n minus 1, okay, x of k into w minus kn of n. So if you look at this, I'm just reusing the same formula. Now what is happening is, I am, whatever x tilde of n that I am retrieving, this is from 0 to n minus 1 only, right? Because I only get coefficient 0, n equal to 0, 1 till n minus 1, and then it's periodic function. That's why we don't care about the other period. Now when I specifically say that x instead of x tilde of n, I'm basically restricting it. I mean, whatever I'm getting it is for one period, and that one period is same as your one period of x tilde of n is same as x of n, right? So this one 0 less than equal to n less than equal to n minus 1 will be my IDFT, and it will be 0 otherwise. Okay, so this is how this will be my DFT analysis equation, and this will be my DFT synthesis equation. So in short, what I am trying to tell you is, I had x of n, I took x of e raised to j omega, but x of e raised to j omega has its own problems because it is continuous in omega. So instead of storing this, I need to store the sampled version, which is x of e raised to j 2 pi k by n. Okay, what we have seen is when I going the other way around, if x of n is converted into a periodic sequence x tilde of n by convolving x of n with p of n, which is the impulse train of period n, okay, impulse train of period n, then that x tilde of n, I can get the DFS coefficients of this, which will be x tilde of k. Now this x tilde of k exactly are same or resemble this x of e raised to j 2 pi k by n, which is the sampled version of x of e raised to j omega. Okay, so this is how you can get this. Now to get from x of n directly your x of k, which is actually this guy, this, and from x of k to get back this, instead of going this route, the complete route, this is the formula, okay, where x of k equal to n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n into wkn of n, and it is 0 otherwise, and x of n is equal to 1 by n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of k into w of minus k n by n from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so yeah, so x of e raised to j omega, we are sampling it. So this x of e raised to j omega that we get, let's say this is your sample x of e raised to j omega, which is from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, the x of e raised to, okay, so now this is from 0 to 2 pi. What exactly is happening here is, when we are kind of finding out x of k, we are sampling this at points 0 and k equal to 0, k equal to 1, which is 2 pi by n, at omega equal to 2 pi by n, k equal to 1, k equal to 2, which is 4 pi by n, k equal to 3, k equal to 4, and so on. So till k equal to n minus 1. So this frequency here will be omega equal to 2 pi into n minus 1 divided by n, and the value of k will be k is equal to n minus 1. So basically what we are doing is, x of e raised to j omega, we are taking a period from 0 to 2 pi and sampling it, or splitting it up into n equal points, starting with 0, 2 pi by n, okay, 2 pi by n, 4 pi by n, till 2 pi into n minus 1 divided by n. So we are actually splitting this up into n points spaced equally at distances 2 pi by n, 4 pi by n, and so on. Okay, the intersample distance is 2 pi by n. So then that is same as your x of k, which is your DFT. Okay, clear? So that is n point DF. That's how you obtain the n point DFT. Now the requirement here for you to get back x of n properly without any aliasing is, so from x of n you are getting a n point DFT, which is n point DFT, which is x of k, where k equal to 0 till n minus 1, and the requirement here, from x of k you can get back x of n without any aliasing if the length of x of n, that is x of n, has a length of L, and you choose a n which is greater than equal to L. Okay, n always have to be greater than L. So if your length of x of n is L, and if I choose if I take a n-point DFT where n is less than L, then I will get some x prime of k. Okay, from x prime of k I will be getting x prime of n, which has got a length of n. Since this n has got a length which is less than L, which was your original x of n, this x prime of n will not be same as your x of n. So the requirement here is, when you are trying to find out when you are taking an n-point DFT, for you to recover x of n from the n-point DFT, the requirement here is that you have to choose a n which is always greater than the length of this sequence x of n. Okay,